Alright, we're gonna start off Shalom, Shalom. First of all, we're gonna give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rekakadash. Yahweh be in the name of the Heavenly Father. Yahweh Shai be in the name of His only begotten Son, whom they call Jesus Christ. Now we're gonna get into the judgment of Babylon the Great, America, and I'm gonna start it off with let's see here, Isaiah 61, I think. Isaiah 61 and 8. It says, "For I, the Lord Yahweh, love judgment for burnt offering, and I will direct their work in truth, and I will make an everlasting covenant with them." Lord, He made an everlasting covenant with the children of Israel, and we was the one that He was going to use to bring the judgment. Okay. Now let's get Proverbs 28 and 5. It says, "Evil men understand not judgment, but they that seek Yahweh understand all things." Okay? So these people don't understand the judgments of the Lord. And so this is why He sent out His prophets. Now this is Jeremiah 28 and 8. It says, "The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence." And that prophesied is going into a specific situation. When they saying they prophesying, let me reword it with this Isaiah chapter 8 verse 20. It says, "To the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them." So that prophesying is also testifying. Look up, jump up into verse 16. It's Isaiah 8 and 16. It says, "Bind up the testimony, seal the law among my disciples." Okay, because the testimony is it go hand in hand with the prophecy. But let's get Revelation 19 verse 10. And I'm gonna just get the last sentence. It says, "Worship the Most High, for the testimony of Yahweh is the spirit of prophecy." Okay, so the testimony of Yahweh is the spirit of prophecy. See, and this prophecies, giving out these prophecies is us testifying and bringing judgment, see, on these people. And we talking about Babylon the Great, America. Okay. Now let's go into Revelations 11. Okay, and it said, it even word in verse 2, this Revelation 11 and 2, it says, "But the court which is without the temple leave out, and measure it not, for it is given unto the Gentiles." See, the Gentiles is in court. It says, "The holy city shall they tread under foot 42 months." And that holy city is talking about the Israelites. They're going to be treading us down for 42 months, and it's going to describe it in verse 11. Yeah, in verse 11. Let's see here. Yeah, verse 3, it says, and I will give power unto my two witnesses. So now that testimony goes into the witnesses. They're going to be witnessing against this great country and against this great kingdom, the American Empire. It says, and they shall prophesy. You see, they're going to be witnessing, but they're going to be prophesying, which is going to be a witness in the same. It says, and they shall prophesy 1,260 days clothed in sackcloth. So I'm going to jump down to verse 8. It's going to let you know where they're going to be prophesying and testifying it. It says, and their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city. That great city is that great kingdom. See, that's Jeremiah 28:8 is talking about. That great city is that great country that Jeremiah 28:8 is talking about. It says their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt. See, America was the first one to pass these sodomite rights and these rights for these people to have same-sex marriage and all this. Egypt was a representation of bondage in the scriptures. This is where the Israelites was in bondage in Egypt. It says, where also our Lord was crucified. This is where you had the blasphemy that's talked about in chapter 13 of Revelation. All the lies on the scriptures and on the Lord came out of Babylon, the great America. Let's see here. I want to jump down to let's see. Yeah, I just wanted to get that testify and where they testifying at. I'll come back to that. So let's get some more on this great city. Who gonna be in this great city and the identification of this great city? So let's get Ezekiel 17. Ezekiel 17, starting with verse 2, it says, Son of man, put forth a rip and speak a parable unto the house of Israel. See, a parable unto the house of Israel with Yahushua in Matthew 13 and 11. He said, I speak to you in parables because this is only for you. This is not for the whole world. See, to wrap their little mind around. It's not for these Gentiles, these non-Israelites. It says, verse 3, and say, thus says the Lord, the Most High, a great eagle. This is when America makes its entrance. A great eagle with great wings, long winged, full of feathers, which had diverse colors, highest branch of the cedar. Now this cedar is a tree, and a nation is described as a tree in the Bible. That's why you had the fig tree with Yahweh was talking about. He was talking about the Roman Empire when he was saying this fig tree, you can remove this fig tree. Now it says, verse 4, it says, he cropped off the top of his young tweeds. So the nation of Israel is this cedar tree. That's the highest of the branch. Meaning, not the highest of the branch, I'm just say the highest branch of the cedar. So this cedar tree is the nation of Israel, which he's already saying. He's talking to the nation of Israel through a parable. Israel is a tree, and he topped off the young tweed of the nation of Israel. That's them when they had the slaves at 18, from 13 to 21. They want young slaves. They don't want a old slave, man. You want a young slave so he can get out in that cotton field and pick that cotton and that sugar cane. It says he cropped off the top of his young tweeds and carried it into a land of traffic. So he was trafficking the young Israelites. It says, and he set it in a city of merchant. So in the city of merchandise, where these Israelites gonna be merchandise and be sold to these plantations, to these corporations, this is where he sent the children of Israel to. The great eagle, see, the great eagle got these children of Israel. This is talking about Babylon the Great America, that great city where these two pieces of the Israelites, see, the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom, would be prophesying and testifying and giving a witness in the court, see, the court of the Lord, against these great kingdoms, this great kingdom America, in which is the American Empire. Now let's go into, let's get Revelation 17. Now Revelation 17 goes into, let's see, I want to get, let's see here. I started off at verse 1. This Revelation 17 and 1. It says, and there came one of the seven angels which had the seven vials and talked with me. Now these seven angels, they was the one that's going to bring the wrath of God to this city, to Babylon the Great America. See, it's not going to be a bunch of demons bringing the wrath of God. It's going to be seven angels, archangels, coming to destroy Babylon the Great America and bring the drama to this place. It says, the seven angels which had the seven vials and talked with me, saying unto me, come hither, I will show unto you the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters. See, that goes perfect. And I wasn't even sure which verse I want to pull out of Revelation 17. And that went perfect because it's the Lord talking. He says, come hither, I will show unto you the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters. Now America sit on many waters. They got embassies on many waters. And these waters represent nations, peoples, and tongues. They got embassy in everybody freaking country, man. They got army bases in all these people countries. So this is, and that's really the key verse right there in Revelation 17. Let's jump down to 17 and 18. It says, and the woman, which that great whore, which you saw, is that great city which reigneth over the kings of the earth. See, that great city where these two witnesses going to be prophesying and testifying and witnessing against this great city. See, bringing out the prophecies against this great city, Babylon the Great America. They reign over the other king. That's why Trump can say, hey man, we're going to have a tariff. We're going to raise the taxes since y'all all want to get rich with us, because in verse 2, it says, with who the kings of the earth committed fornication. So the kings of the earth getting rich with America. And Trump said, hey man, if you kings of the earth want to get rich with America, you're going to have to pay more taxes. I'm raising the tariffs. The tariffs is going to go up tremendously if y'all want to get rich with America. I'm raising the tariff because I rule the world. We the world rulers. The small tiny hats is backing us up, and we the world rulers. So you're going to have to pay more taxes. So let's get Babylon again. Let's see, this is Isaiah 13. And that mystery Babylon is that great whore in Revelation 17. But that mystery Babylon, that great whore, America is in Isaiah 13. It said the burden of Babylon, which Isaiah the son of Amos did see. Verse 2. Lift up a banner upon the high mountain. What's the high mountain? The great city. See, the American empire, the top empire on the earth. It says, exalt the voice unto them, shake the hand, that they may go into the gates of the nobles. See, tell they noble peoples that's doing the research and that's calculating the time, like these people, these scientists got the judgment doomsday clock time. When is the judgment coming on this place? It says, I have commanded my sanctified ones. I have also called my mighty ones for mine anger, even them that rejoice in my hiding. So he's telling, he's going to tell his people to lift up a banner upon the high mountain, go into the great city and testify, witness, prophesy against this wicked kingdom, against this great kingdom, Babylon the Great, America. Okay? It says, verse 4, Isaiah 13 and 4, the noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as of a great people, a tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations gathered together. The Lord of hosts, that's Yahweh of armies, mustered the host of the battle. Verse 5, it says, they come from the far country. So now they going into the missiles that's going to judge this place. See, because the abominations in America, man, they got children walking around naked, and these people don't know what the world going on. It says, and they come from a far country. What? The thing that's going to judge Babylon the Great America. It says, it shall come as a destruction. Oh, Salakia. I'm going to jump back up to verse 5. This Isaiah 13 and 5, it says, they come from a far country, from the end of the earth. See, even the Yahweh and the weapons of his indignation. How is he going to judge Babylon the Great America? With his weapons of indignation. What is his weapons of indignation? There's some weapons that's going to come from a far country. These weapons is going to come from the end of heaven. See? And what are these weapons going to do? It says, and the weapons of indignation to destroy the whole land. See, the whole land of Babylon the Great America, these weapons, the Lord is getting them prepared to destroy this place. Verse 6, it says, howl ye, for the day of the Yahweh is at hand, and it shall come as a destruction from the Almighty. See, he's going to judge America and burn this place with fire. When those nuclear missiles hit, when his weapons of indignation come. Okay. Verse 7, it says, therefore shall all hands be faint, and every man's heart shall melt. You see, they heart gonna be melting when they see them missiles take off. And they already melting. See, they done heard the word and heard that we telling them that America is going to be destroyed by nuclear fire. A nuclear holocaust is coming. So they already can't erase that out of their mind. So let's see here. That was Isaiah. Let's get Jeremiah 50. Jeremiah 50 verse 1, it says, the word that the Lord, the word that Yahweh spoke against Babylon and against the land of the Chaldeans by Jeremiah the prophet. So Jeremiah was given the prophecies and the judgments that was going to happen to Babylon the Great. This is the Babylon he's talking about, because the scriptures have dual fulfillment. See, dual fulfillment is in the scriptures. It's not talking about just no ancient Babylon. It's a dual fulfillment. It's a future Babylon that this one is talking about. And when you jump over to Jeremiah 49, it's talking about the Edomites. The Edomites is the one that's in control of this Babylon the Great America. They the one running the Senate. They got 100 U.S. senators, and 95 of them are Edomites, and 5 of them are Negroes. Or 5 of them claim to be Negroes. They don't know what they is. Then you got, in total, 535 congressmen or the House of Representatives. See, and out of them 400 some House of Representatives, out of them 535 House of Representatives, you got 62 or 65 of them that's claiming to be Negro. So out of 500 people, you got 60 some people in the House of Representatives. See, and they try to say, oh, we know that the whites are overrepresented in the government. No, they're not overrepresented. They the one running. Talking about they overrepresented. Try to be like, oh, like it's a mistake. It ain't no mistake. This is the land of the Edomites, Basra. Now when you jump down to, I'm going straight to the judgment. Jump down to verse 9. And Isaiah 13, in that future Babylon, it was talking about weapons of his indignation coming from a north country, coming from a far country. This is what Jeremiah 50. Jeremiah 50 and 9, it says, for lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon, America, an assembly of great nations from the north country. See, and what they gonna be coming with? What are they gonna be using? It says, and they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence she shall be taken. Their arrows, their weapons. This is the weapons of the Lord indignation. Their arrows shall be as of a mighty expert man. See, these are the weapons of indignations of the Lord. None shall return in vain. These weapons to come from the north countries of these great nations. He's gonna cause these great nations to shoot their arrows, to shoot their weapons at Babylon the Great America and destroy the darn place. Jump down to verse 14. It says, put yourselves in array against Babylon round about, all ye that bend the bow. Shoot at her. See, he telling these nations, all of y'all that got these nuclear weapons, I want y'all to shoot y'all weapons at America. See, because they breaking all kind of laws, but the international law, they want to just bust them over there and take Greenland, take Venezuela. We gonna take Canada. We taking everything in the Western Hemisphere. We going back to a whole nother strategy. It says, shoot at her, spare no arrows, for she have sinned against Yahweh. So this is what he's talking about. Verse 39 and 40 goes back to that Isaiah and Jeremiah 49. But I'm gonna read the Jeremiah and then just what is it, Jeremiah 49. This Jeremiah 50 and 40 says, as the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah and the neighboring cities thereof, says Yahweh, so shall no man abide there, neither shall any man dwell therein. Behold, a people shall come from the north, a great nation. See, talking about Russia and Iran. See, Iran is connected to Pakistan. They not just dwelling by themselves. Iran is connected to Afghanistan, connected to Saudi Arabia, connected to Iraq, Babylon. See, verse 42. No, let me finish that at 31. It says, a great nation and many kings shall be raised up from the coast of the earth. Verse 42, they shall hold the bow and the lance. They are cruel and will not show mercy. They're talking about these nuclear weapons. They're not going to show no mercy on these people, man. It's going to blow their behind away. Just like you got in the next chapter is going to call it a destroying wind. A destroying wind that's going to blow these people to smithereens, as we see in Babylon. It says, their voice shall roar like the sea, and they shall ride upon horses, every one put in array, like a man to the battle against you, O daughter of Babylon. So this is not talking about no ancient Babylon. This is talking about the daughter of Babylon, man. It's going to be a future Babylon that's going to have the weapons of the indignation of the Lord. He going to cause them to round about and shoot their arrows at Babylon the Great America. Now, when you go into Edom, to let you know this place is ran by Edom, look at what it says in Jeremiah 49 and 17. It says, also Edom shall be a desolation. Everyone that goeth by it shall be astonished and shall hiss at all plagues thereof, as in the overthrow of Sodom and Gomorrah and the neighboring cities, says Yahweh. So this is not talking about no Edom as no representation either, because that's what they try to do on their little computer. Oh, Edom is just a representation. So no, it's not a representation. It's the literal nation of Edom that's ruling over the earth, and that the Lord is going to destroy with his weapons of indignation. This nation of Edom, let's get that in Psalms. See, the scriptures explain it themselves. Psalms 137 and 7. Let's see who run this Babylon. It says, remember, O Yahweh, the children of Edom is the one that's running this Babylon. Say, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof. And Edom is not no Arabs. That's a bold-faced lie. Edom is the so-called white man. It says, O daughter of Babylon, who ought to be destroyed. Happy shall he be toward you as you have served us. See, and that great city, this is the great city Babylon, that daughter of Babylon. What it said, the dead bodies lie in the street of the great city, because it's a lot of death that's going on in Babylon the Great. It's the land of death. Let's get that real quick. In the land of the Edomites, this is what their lands was called. This Job, and Job could be a whole book of prophecies, but this Job 10 and starting at 21. It says, before I go whence I shall not return, even to the land of darkness and the shadow of death. A land of darkness, as darkness itself, and is of the shadow of death. So this is a land of the shadow of death, without any order, and where the light is as darkness. So they order is supposed to be light, really darkness, because they twist these laws up so much, man. And it's a wicked corporation that they try to turn into a government. And now they're doing away with their own laws. They're getting rid of all that crap. The Constitution and any other law you can think of, they're trying to get rid of. And let's get that in Revelation 13 and 4. This is what's holding up Babylon anyway. Because he had to give Esau a great sword, and we're going to get that too. This Revelation 13 and 4, they worshiped the dragon which gave power unto the beast, and they worshiped the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast, who is able to make war with him? See, nobody's able to make war with him because the Lord gave him a great sword. Let's get that. Now you had the red dragon which gave power to the red beast, and then we're going to get the red horse. The red horse in verse 4 with the same weapon or sword or military. Revelation 6 and 4 it says that there went out another horse that was red. See, and that horse is a beast. You had a red beast in Revelation 13 that gave power to the red dragon that gave power to the red beast. It's all the same nation. Edom means red. It says, and power was given unto him, and that they shall kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword. Who was given that great sword? See, Esau was given a great sword so he can rule with it. Because without that great sword, he wouldn't be able to rule. Because he's not stronger than Jacob. The Lord made Jacob stronger than him. But this is Genesis 27 and 38. It says, and Esau said unto his father, have thou unblessed my father, bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, your dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above. And by your sword, see that go that great sword, I'm going to give you this great sword. By your sword you shall live. Who was given a great sword? Esau, Edom, the red dragon, the red horse, the red beast, the red man. See? And they not white. When you look at them, put them up against a piece of paper, and they're not white, they red. It says, and by your sword you shall live, and shall serve your brother. So at the end of the day, in the kingdom, he's going to have to serve his brother. And it shall come to pass when you shall have the dominion, see, in your rulership, that you shall break his yoke from off your neck. Okay, and let's get verse 41, because that's going to go into what's going on now with these ice peoples. It says, and Esau hated the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau are at hand, then will I slay my brother Jacob. So this is the heart of the Edomite. This is why they were slaying their brother Jacob without no pity, because they was mad about that blessing. Now let's go into some other stuff. Let's get this lamentation, because this lamentations break down this ice situation, and it tells you who's gonna be doing what. You got to read it in a specific order. Now when you jump down, this is Lamentations 4. When you jump down to verse, I want to jump down to 21. It says, rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom. So Edom is the people, that's the police, they the people with the power. You jump back up to verse, Edom is the nation that's being talked about. This is Lamentations 4 and 17. It says, as for us, our eyes as yet felt for our vain help. In our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us. So what nation is they watching? They're watching for the Edomites to save them. See, the Israelites saying, we want the Edomites to save us, the so-called white man. See, the police, his military, his government, his what you call it, his political parties. We want them to save us. See, we need to vote Democrat, vote Republican. We need them to save us. He says, verse 18, now this is where the ice come in. It says, they hunt our steps that we cannot go into our streets. Our end is near, our days are fulfilled, for our end is come. So the end of the Israelites' captivity, you're going to have who? People hunting them down in the streets. It says, verse 18, and here go that great eagle that was in Ezekiel 17, Babylon the Great America. It says, our persecutors are swifter than the eagles of heaven. See, American bald eagle. That American bald eagle, Babylon the Great. See, it says, our persecutors are swifter than the eagles of heaven. They pursue us upon the mountains. They lay wait for us in the wilderness. So the nation of Edom is going to be hunting down the Israelites when their days are fulfilled. See, in the end of their captivity. Look at verse 22 to break that one down. It says, the punishment of your iniquity is accomplished. So in the end of the punishment of the Israelites, when their punishment is fulfilled, when the end is come, you're going to have the Edomites, the nation of Edom, hunting them down in the streets, persecuting them like a swift eagle in the streets. What is that? Ice. See? At the end of the world, which is just the end of the world of the Edomites, and the beginning of the world of the Israelites, and the end of the Israelites' captivity, the Edomites is going to be on a hunt for Israelites. Where they at? We going door to door. We going to kick the door down and see if they're supposed to be in this country. We invited them in the country. First, we're going to invite them in the country so we can chase them down. See, this is the crap that they did. It says, this verse 22, Lamentations 4 and 22, it says, the punishment of your iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more carry you away into captivity. You will not be in slavery to the so-called white man anymore. It says, he will visit your iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover your sins. So now they going into captivity. He going to discover the sins of these Edomites and throw they behind into captivity. See, now you going to have to go into slavery, because the Israelites not going into slavery. They're going to be the ones that take your behind into slavery. And let me get that second Ezra that I quoted. This second Ezra 6 and do I want to start there? Let me start at 7. Second Ezra 6 and 7, it says, then answered I and said, what shall be the pardon asunder of the time? See, what's going to be this end of the world stuff? It says, when shall be the end of the first? So the first is going to be one kingdom ruling, and another kingdom is going to take over. It says, in the beginning of it that following. So what kingdom is going to be ruling? It says, and he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So they hunting down Jacob. See, you got ICE and all of these troops and National Guard. See, the military is going to be hunting down Jacob, because it's the end of their world and the beginning of Jacob's world. Let's get it again. let's see here. Jeremiah 30. Jeremiah 30. I'm going to start at verse 6. It's Jeremiah 30 and 6. It says, ask ye now and see whether do a man do travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loin, as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness. See, this is what you see these Negroes, they done got maced by the ICE people. See, somebody done snatched somebody out the house and carrying them off into the ICE truck, and they holding their groins, crying. See? And not just the men, the women too. The women are crying, talking about, he was an immigrant. See? They out in the street protesting about some darn people being deleted by the ICE people. And this is just the beginning of the operation. Concentration camp. See, they ain't set up the holding camps and started locking down the society. Jeremiah 30 and 7. It says, alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. See, and that's what they're getting ready for, the salvation of Jacob. Because Jacob is going to spiritual powers. He's going to turn into a mutant, meaning he's going to mutate. He's going to transform and gain immortality. This is what they're preparing for. Now let's jump to Matthew and get that insurrection that's happening. That's why Trump got to sign the Insurrection Act. We gonna go into this Insurrection Act. Say, well, do you know the Insurrection Act is in the scriptures, and the insurrection was supposed to be on the Israelites. The insurrection wasn't gonna be on just some citizens in the country. See, the dark-skinned citizens and the dark-skinned citizens in the country. The brown peoples in the country that speak Spanish. See, that's not what it's about. It's about the Israelites. See, the Israelites that's going to be in trouble. The children of Jacob. This Matthew 24, and getting right to the point, verse 21. It says, for then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. Meaning no Israelites would be saved. No blacks and Hispanics would be saved. Because the so-called white man will exterminate they behind. It says, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. For the Israelites' sake, those days shall be shortened. For the Hispanic sake, those days shall be shortened. For the so-called Negroes, those days shall be shortened. For the so-called descendants of slaves, those days shall be shortened. Why? Because the so-called white man military is going to be hunting them down in the streets. It's going to be hunting them down in the forest, the woods, waiting on them, busting down your door. Let's get that in 2nd Ezra. This insurrection. See, the Insurrection Act is that's a part of Bible prophecy, that he was going to have an insurrection on the Israelites. not just some brown people and not just some dark-skinned people that's citizens of a country that's immigrants or whatever they want to call it. This second Ezra 16 and 68. It says, for behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you Israelites, you blacks and Hispanics. It says, and they shall take away certain of you blacks and Hispanics. It's going to be a burning wrath. See, they say we're going to go get some people from Israelis. Let's go get some of them small, tiny hat soldiers and bring them over here, put a mask on their face, and you Negroes and Hispanics won't know who kidnapping your behind. It says, and feed you being idle with things offered unto idol. I'm going to jump down to verse 7 to get to the point. It says, for there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. See, that Insurrection Act. See, Donald Trump and the so-called white man is bringing an Insurrection Act. Because he's going to round up you blacks and you Hispanics. It says, they shall be like mad men, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. See, only the Israelites feared the Lord. The Edomites didn't fear no Lord. The Moabites didn't fear no Lord. The Hamites didn't fear no Lord. See, only the Israelites feared the Lord and kept his laws, and he gave them his laws. So their children, they going to be coming after them. It says, they shall be like mad men, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. See, the guy from what is his name? Libya. The Negroes went to Libya, man. The descendants of slaves went to Libya, Liberia, whatever they want to call it. It says, for they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. Then shall they be known who are my chosen. Who was chosen? The Israelites, the blacks and Hispanics. That's who was chosen. He didn't choose no Moabites. He didn't choose no Ammonites, no Ishmaelites. He only chose the Israelites. Let's get Psalm 64, verse 2. You know what? Let's get verse 1. It says, hear my voice, O the Most High. In my prayer, preserve my life from fear of the enemy. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked. Who is the wicked? The Edomites, the so-called white man. It says, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, the Insurrection Act. Hey. Verse 4, jumping down. They, the perfect, suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. They encourage themselves in an evil manner. That's why he going to Davos or Davos or wherever he going, to the highest place in Europe, and he gonna make a plan. This is the biggest meeting the American government is having in Davos, and he's gonna be making big announcements. No, he's gonna be trying to have an evil plot against the Israelites. Said they encourage themselves in an evil manner. They commune of laying snares privately. They say, who shall see them? See, we're not going to publish the meeting of Davos to the world. We have a private meeting. It says, they search out iniquities, they are cursed, a diligent search. Both the inward thought one of them, and heart is deep. But the Most High shall shoot at them with an arrow. The ultimate arrow is going to be them nuclear missiles. That's the ultimate arrow. It says, suddenly shall they be wounded. So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. See, they already telling what they doing, man. That's why they got to try to kill all the whistleblowers. Why you got a bunch of whistleblowers? Because the folks trying to hide something. And then if you whistleblow, they'll kill you. It says, all that see them shall flee away. So this Insurrection Act with ICE is in the Bible. This Isaiah 59:19. It says, so shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood. What is the ICE doing? Coming in like a flood. See? And a Negro and an American is asleep. They dead sleep, hanging with their oppressor, man. It says, when the enemy shall come in like a flood, the spirit of Yahweh shall lift up a standard against him. See, that's when he can give the Israelites spiritual power if he wants. See, you don't have to give them spiritual power, but he can give them spiritual power, and he can help them either get away from the darn people or not feel the death that they're going to experience. Verse 20, it says, and the Redeemer shall come to Zion, and unto them that turn from transgression in Jacob, says the Lord. So the enemy going to come in like a flood, but only the one that's going to get redeemed and saved is the one that turns from transgression. See? The enemy going to come in regardless and attack the Israelites, the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. If you were native in the country, you probably was an Israelite. And if you was brought over here, you probably was an Israelite if you was brought over here on the slave ship, man. Verse 21, it says, as for me, this is my covenant with them, says Yahweh. My spirit that is upon you, and my words which I put in your mouth shall not depart out of your mouth, or nor out of the mouth of your seed, meaning your children, nor out of the mouth of your seed. Not a Christian church. See, you got to be an Israelite, man, because the Israelites is who they looking for. They're not looking for no church member. See, nobody is on the talking about why they looking for the church peoples. No, why they looking for the Hispanics? Why they looking for the Native Americans? Why they looking for the Negroes? See, that's what he's talking about. Let's get that 2nd Ezra 15. Verse 1, it says, behold, speak thou unto the ears of my people. No, speaking to the Christian church. Speaking to some Catholic church. No. Speaking to the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in your mouth, says Yahweh, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Fear not the imagination against you. Let not the unbelief of them trouble you that speak against you. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. Behold, says the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction, For wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. See, this is what the Lord is bringing out, man, in these last days. Let me get verse 16. It says, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes. See, when they stop regarding the kings or the princes, man, they're going to be running in these streets. See, that's why you got these folks trying to shoot at the police. They ain't going to be scared to shoot at the police, man. That's why they got to give the guy trying to fight ICE with a shovel. What you going to do with a shovel, man? They giving the ICE soldiers red dots on the gun. So we gonna upgrade all their guns and put a red infrared beam on the gun, man. And this silly fool is trying to attack the people with a shovel. Why would you attack somebody with a shovel, man? They need to put some bullets in your behind. It says, the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to, because of their pride, the city shall be troubled. The houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods, because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. See, it's going to be a tribulation coming to Babylon, the great America, man. That's going to be the judgment of the Lord to punish the wicked. Let's get that in Ecclesiastes 39:28. See, the Lord is going to bring all these spirits, them 7 angels, in Revelation 15, Revelation 16. See, those 7 angels is going to bring the drama. It's not going to be, oh, the devil is busy. No, it ain't going to be no devil, man. It's 7 righteous angels that's going to be bringing the wrath of God to the demons, man. It's going to be the righteous angels, archangels coming to bring the wrath of God and punish these wicked behind people. This is Ecclesiastes 39:28. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. Fire and hell and famine and death, all these were created for vengeance. Teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents and the sword, punishing the wicked to destruction. See, this is what's going to be going on in Babylon the Great America. Jump down to the next chapter, Ecclesiastes 40:9-10. It says, death and bloodshed, strife and sword, calamities, famine, tribulation, and the scourge. These things are created for the wicked. See? And for their sakes came the flood. And this is what Babylon the Great is, man. Another wicked place, just like the place back there when they had the flood. See, these people was very wicked. And the Lord said, I'm going to send some spirits to kick they behind. And I'm going to drown every last one of them. Let's get that in Peter. 2 Peter 3:10. Let's see here. I'll get 7 first. Well, you know what? Let's get 5 over here. For this day, the 2 Peter 3:5. For this they willingly are ignorant of, that by the word of the Most High the heavens were of old, and the earth standing out of water in the water, by way the world that then was, being overflowed with water, perished. See, he drowned they behind. It says, but the heavens and the earth, which are now by the same word, are kept in store, reserved unto fire, against the day of judgment and perdition of ungodly men. See, that judgment that's coming to America is going to be nuclear fire. Now jump down to verse 10. It says, but the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night. See, they're not going to be paying attention. They're going to be doing their thing in Babylon the Great America. It says, and in the heavens, in which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise. What caused a great noise, man? A bomb. What, they got them cherry bombs? Boom! When you hear a great noise, you know it's a bomb. It says, which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Where fervent heat come from? A nuclear missile, man. The earth also and the works that therein shall be burnt up. See, he's going to set Babylon on fire with those nuclear missiles from Russia, China, Iran, North Korea. See, they're going to burn this place up. NATO going to shoot their weapon. NATO going to turn on America. Now, this great noise, okay. Oh, Malachi 4:1. It says, for behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble. And the day that cometh shall burn them up, says Yahweh of armies, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch. So it's going to be a day that's going to burn these people up, man. Wicked behind people, man. They hate the Lord. They hate his people. They hate his word. Let's get that. This Proverbs 13:13. It said, whosoever despise the word shall be destroyed, but he that feareth the commandment shall be rewarded. What was the other one? Was it 13? It was another one. 23, was it? 23? 35. What that was? Well, let me get all these batteries about to go dead. All right, let's get some more on let's get some more on this insurrection. Let's see here. Let's see. Ephesians. I want that in Ephesians. Ephesians 6 and I'll start with 11. It says, put on the whole armor of the Most High, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. And what is he talking about? See, when they send these troops to come to the neighborhood, is you going to be foolish and go out there protesting and get shot up. It says, verse 12, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood. See, we're not fighting these people, man. See, that's the government. We against them, but we ain't fighting with our flesh and our blood. We gonna fight with these prophecies. It says, against powers, against rulers of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Now let's get how we gonna fight these people. Look at where is it? About with truth. Yeah, I'm gonna start at 16. Take the shield of faith. So faith is what we gonna fight they behind with. Wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked, and take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of the Most High. So the faith is believing in the word of the Most High and using the word of the Most High. Worried about fighting them, see, because the Lord's gonna fight they behind. Let's get that. It's Exodus 14 and 14. It says, for Yahweh shall fight for you, and you shall hold your peace. See why they got their ice raids and all this crap, man? And they gonna kill each other and protest and all that. We gonna be sitting back watching, see? And then we gonna get that spiritual power and kick they behind. Let's get that in Zechariah. Zechariah 12. I'm gonna start with 7. It says, the Yahweh also shall save the tents of Judah first, that the glory of the house of David and the glory of the inhabitants of Jerusalem do not magnify themselves against Judah. Verse 8. In that day shall Yahweh defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem, meaning the Israelites, the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. It says, and he that is feeble among them at that day shall be as David, and the house of David shall be as the Most High, as the angel of the Lord before them. And it shall come to pass in that day that I will seek to destroy all the nations that come against Jerusalem. See, all these Gentiles that think they're going to come against the Israelites, see, and stop some prophecies and hug up under the so-called white man, Esau, Edom, and destroy the Israelites. You got another thing coming, man, because we going to get spiritual power and we going to kick somebody's behind. This 1 Corinthians 15 and 51, to get to the point. It says, behold, I show you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed. Say, you're not going to kill all of us, bro. You done lost your mind. 52. It says, in the moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump. See, that's why they probably called the man Trump. For the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed. For the corruptible must put on incorruption, and this mortal must put on immortality, spiritual power. See, we're going to have spiritual powers, man, and we're going to be kicking these folks behind. I'm going to get that in another one in Zechariah 12 and 2. It says, no, 12 and 3, Zechariah 12 and 3, it says, and in that day will I make Jerusalem a burdensome stone for all people, and all that burden themselves with it shall be cut in pieces. though all the people of the earth be gathered together against it. See, they all gonna join the so-called white man. They right now they over there trying to kiss up to him, and they gonna join his police squads and thinking they gonna help him get rid of the Israelites, and it'll never happen. We gonna get spiritual powers and kick some behind, man. This is Daniel 2:44. It says, in the days of these kings shall the Most High of heaven set up a kingdom, which shall never be destroyed, and the kingdom shall not be left to other people. No other people is going to be able to be with Yahushua and fight against these kings, but the Israelites. It says the kingdom shall not be left to other people, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever. This is what Zechariah 12:3 said. Now jump to chapter 7 of Daniel. It says, verse 18, but the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. Okay, you jump to chapter 12. It says, and at that time shall Michael stand up, this 12:1, Daniel 12:1, that great prince which stand for the children of your people, Israelites, and there shall be a time of trouble, that's Jacob's trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, since the nation of Israel was in existence, even to that same time, and at that time your people, Israelites, shall be delivered. See, that we gonna be, that Archangel Michael and the elect is gonna have spiritual powers, man. And they little funky little military, and they ICE agents, and they Google troops or whatever they call, ain't gonna be able to do nothing, man. Let's get Zechariah 3:19. This is Zephaniah, not Zechariah, Zephaniah. It's my last verse. It says, behold, at that time I will undo all that afflict you. See, all that was participating in the slavery of the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and the scattered Israelites. Say he gonna undo all that afflict us. And I will save her that halted, and gather her that was driven out, and I will get them praise and fame. How you gonna get that? Because we're gonna have spiritual bodies in every land where they have been put to shame. See, we're gonna have spiritual bodies, and they all gonna know it. Verse 20, at that time I will bring you again, even in the time that I gather you. We're gonna go back to our land. For I will make you a name and praise among all the people of the earth, when I turn back your captivity before your eyes, says Yahweh. So he gonna turn back our captivity here in Babylon the Great. That's what Joel 3 is about. Joel 3:1. He says, for behold, in those days and at that time, when I will bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem. So we're going to be coming out of this captivity. Judah and Jerusalem. That's the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. See, the descendants of slaves and the Native Americans, Mayans, the Aztecs. See, all these people was here, and they was Israelites. Verse 2, it says, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, and will plead with them there. Go to war with these people. For my people and my heritage, Israel, who they have scattered among the nations, and parted my land. They have cast lots for my people. What's the auction block? Put them on the auction block, sell them. And have given my boy for an harlot, and sold a girl for wine. See, how did the wine come? Had the native in in the West Coast picking them grapes. Native, that's when you look up the wine in America, you see that all of the slaves the Native Americans and the islands, them folks in the islands, was creating the wine. It says, and sold a girl for wine that they might drink. So he gonna be bringing that captivity back and warring with these heathens in these last days. We gonna get spiritual power. And now I go ahead and get verse 8. It says, and I will sell your sons and your daughters into the hand of the children of Judah. So now they gonna be our slaves. They gonna be working on our plantation. They gonna be in our vineyard. What that? Isaiah 61 and 5. They gonna be in our vineyards, picking our grapes. See, they gonna be in our field, plowing the ground, so we can have fruits and vegetables. See, they gonna what the movie is switching places. That's what's gonna happen, man. That's what World War III is all about. Switching places. The Israelites gonna switch places with the Edomites. But I'm gonna leave it there. Give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem Rekakadash. Double honors to the elders pushing the truth. Peace to the elect worldwide. The blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, descendants of slaves, scattered around the globe on slave ships and through many captivities. Our kingdom is at hand. Shalom.